Morning, everybody. It's day 20 of late spring, and we've got an early start here, 5:30 in the morning. We're going to go on down here and pick up our John Deere 6R and take it on down the shop, pick up our logging equipment. We've got pretty much everything in stock except for our special order log forks. Apparently they don't stock those here, and needed to have them brought in from the other side of the valley. Basically the other side of the mountains, I should say. And basically they told me that it should be in sometime around midday. So we've got plenty of work to do in the meantime. So let's go ahead and get on down to the shop. If you recall, last night they told us that they would go ahead and put all of our stuff in the one shed. They let us know how to get that stuff out of the shed. So we're just going to go ahead and make our way down to the shop to pick that stuff up. We've got a tree saw down there. We've got a winch back there to hook up to our logs and drag them out of the woods. And then we've also got a log trailer module for our AR trailer. So we're going to need to swing in here to the dairy and pick that up, pick up the AR trailer. So we come down here and pick up our log module. If you remember, we invested in the AR manure spreader and trailer, so might as well use the trailer and save a little dollars, not have to basically repeat and buy a second trailer that just is for logging. So this way we're making best use of our money. Alright, let's go ahead and back on up here. Right. So I know that forest is pretty densely populated with trees. We're gonna have to develop a plan on how to best extract those trees, not get them all hung up in each other, make a royal mess of things. But basically, I think we have enough time this morning to get enough trees cut to fill up our log trailer, and we'll get them all organized. We'll get the logs organized, cut them to length, and then we'll go ahead and hope that by that point in time we get a call that our forks are in, and we'll be able to run down here and pick the forks up. All right. Just drop the trailer off here. Let's go ahead and there they are. Alright, so guys, definitely got that stuff here and put it in here. So we got our PTO driven tree saw. We have our winch with a blade on it to help anchor the tractor when we're winching and also help push the logs around. And then we've got our log trailer. And this interesting log trailer actually has the capability of tilting. So you'll see that these forks on this side, or these stanchions on this side, have a hinge on them, and they'll rotate down, and this whole bed will flip to the side. That's going to aid us in unloading our logs. Because I did notice at the dock, it did not look like there was an area to crane off the logs, so that would have left us with a little bit of an interesting predicament. So we're going to go ahead and hook this stuff up, and I'll be back with you once we get everything hooked up. Alright, well, I didn't mention that, as you can see, our ground temperature is still at 45 degrees. It has not gone up since, oh, we don't want to be driving in our potatoes, that's for sure. Here we go. It's not gone up since the other day. It's a cool 43 degrees out right now, but it does look like the sun's going to come out, possibly warm us up a little bit. Anything to possibly help that ground temperature come up is going to be greatly encouraged. Let's go ahead and take a look at that forecast. Looks like we got rain for the next 6 days. That is possibly not so good for our ground temperature. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We definitely have warmer temperatures, warmer highs predicted. But what that will do to our ground temperature with the rain and nighttime, that is the concern, that the rain may cause the nighttime temperature to drop too low, which will cause our ground temp to drop, which is not a favorable thing with respect to getting our ground temperature up. So we do have rain, like I said, for the last 4 days of spring here, and we rained the first 2 days of summer. But thankfully it does look like by day 3 we're going to get warmer temperatures near the 70s, and that should definitely help to bring the ground temperature up fairly quickly. Alright, so this is where we're going to start doing our logging operations, and like I said, we're going to need to hop out and develop a little bit of a plan here, a plan of attack. Figure out how we're going to deal with this. Let's go ahead and drop our trailer. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So we're definitely going to be bringing our logs out to this clearing to work them. I think we may be able to just let's check over here. And see how things go. I think we'll be able to maybe dive right on in here to this road here and start working on either side and drag things out. So let's go ahead and drop our log arm, or not our log arms, but our loader arms here. We're not going to need our loader arms for quite a bit until we have ourselves a log fork. Let's go ahead and drop our saw there. Drop our arms. Go ahead and hook back up to our PTO saw. Now this thing is going to make extremely quick work of our trees. And it has an added benefit that this thing is pretty much guaranteed that anything that we cut is going to drop directly in front of us. No more worries as to where the particular tree is going to fall. So we're going to go ahead and try to get this level to the ground as best we can. We don't want too big of a stump because the plan is that we're not going to come in here and clear our stumps out unless we absolutely have to. Alright, let's see. We might need to open up our log grabbers here. There's the first tree. So we are now officially, what is it, Lumberjacks. Let's go ahead and cut a couple more down, and then we'll This is the only problem. Sometimes our blade gets stuck. I'll go ahead and get this freed, and we'll be right back with you. Alright, we got that taken care of, and we're going to go ahead and take out a couple more, and then we'll look at then bringing these trees off into the clearing. So that's 4. 5. And we'll go ahead and take one more out here. All right, so that's 6. So let's go ahead and put our saw over here out of the way. Last thing we want to do is have a bunch of equipment sitting in our way. And then we're going to make use of this fine winch to bring our trees out into the clearing here. So we're going to go ahead and hook on up to our tree here. And drag it on clear. Got a nice old working area here to work with. And we can hook up to multiple trees, so we're going to go ahead and hook up to these 2 here and see if we can't drag them both out at the same time. That one. I got that one. And let's go ahead and see if we can't winch these clear that stump. So the one thing we definitely want to make sure that we do is never get between us and the winch here. The winch and the cable, because this cable is under load, and we need to be very careful when we're pulling, that we don't get what we're pulling hung up on anything, up like right there. We don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and hook up to this one. Want to be careful we don't put the cable under. There we go. We don't want to put the cable under too great of a load, or we might snap that cable, and that might be the end of our days. Let's take it one tree at a time then. It's going to act like that. Alright. Probably going to need to go ahead and delimb these things. So we're just going to do more of the same, and I'll be back with you once we have a fair number of trees here ready to get to the next step. Alright, so we got ourselves 6 logs here, all nicely lined up, all nicely bunched together, ready for us to start cutting them to length. And it's about midday, but I still haven't gotten that call from the dealer yet. So we're going to go ahead and cut these up into 6-meter lengths, and that's what our trailer will take here comfortably. We don't want it hanging off the edge too terrible much. Hopefully we'll get a text message or a phone call while we're doing that, so that we know that our forks are in. Alright, so while we're waiting on our forks to show up, we're going to go ahead and cut these up into 6-meter lengths, and then we'll have to check and see if our forks are in. I've got my phone on vibrate because there's absolutely no way we're going to actually hear the phone ring. So let's go ahead and see how many logs we can cut up. So we've got a really cool tape measure here that we're going to use. We're going to bring it up to just about 6 meters. It's there we go. Get our handy chainsaw out here, and basically we're just going to cut straight across here. Alright, and let's just back up a little bit and see if we can get the there we go. What we're going to do is we're going to work our way across, and then we're going to come back and do it all over again. It's at 12 meters, and then do it all over again at 18, and basically keep doing the process until we get the logs all cut up into segments. Of course, the measuring tape says that we are longer than 6 meters. But that is simply because we're going at a diagonal at this point. If we get done cutting this, we're going to look back. It's going to be a fairly straight line across. Alright. So we look here, it's fairly straight across. All of them. Alright, so now we will go down here to 12. And we'll just repeat this process until we're completely done. So you don't need to see more of this. I'll just Alright, so there we go. We've got everything cut up into 6-meter lengths. And, you know, while we were cutting these logs, I thought I felt something in my pocket. So let me go ahead and check and see if we got a notification that our forks are in. Alright, so that definitely was the shop. Our forks are definitely in. So let's go ahead and fire up the 6R, and let's get our front loader arms and head on back down the shop to pick up our log forks. And we might as well leave our winch here. Alright. Let's actually, well, I guess we might as well go this way. We'll come up the other way when we come back. There is a back way up here into the woods area.
that we found the other day, if y'all recall. And I think I'm going to go ahead and ask them down at the shop to see if they happen to have a set of adjustable tractor weights. We might need a rear counterweight when we're picking up these logs. I don't think we will, but it won't hurt to go ahead and pick one up. They're not too terribly expensive. So guys, a little off story, like I'm trying to actually be storyline anyway. But anyway, off story, I wanted to see what you all think of the logging style that I do. What kind of interested in the logging style that you have. Obviously, the easiest way to log would be to whip out the checkbook and pick up the Scorpion King and just cut up 6-meter logs, if we will, or cut up whatever length logs we want. Obviously, the easiest way of picking them up would be to grab an autoload trailer and just have the magic happen. And you know, we did quite a bit of that on the single player challenge that we finished. But that challenge was all about making money, and therefore to make the most amount of money you have to do everything in the most efficient way possible, which means the fastest way possible, which means the Scorpion King and autoload trailers. But you know, 24-day seasons, there's no reason to get things done quick. There's no reason to really try to cut up the trees as fast as possible or load the logs as fast as possible. In fact, I think today we'll probably be lucky if we get one whole load done. Now my goal would be on a good day to try to get 2 full loads of logs, simply because we don't have to we're not having to run down here and do all of this running around. Alright, there's our log forks, these beasts of beauty. This is the extra large version. You see we've got 2 top grabber fingers, 4 bottom grabber fingers, and what's even cooler about this is the forks have straps that you can put in. So basically you can lock these logs in place. So we're going to go ahead and see about getting a rear weight. This is my new favorite rear weight. It's cheaper than the SOB weight. It's not as heavy, but it is adjustable. And let's see here, what's the there we go, Z and X. So Z and X. So I like this rear weight. I think it looks cool. Alright, let's head on back up to the hills and see if we can't get these logs loaded. I do want to get a load down to the dock today, simply to make up for the money that we spent on the equipment. I don't know if a full load is going to make up for the purchasing of all the logging equipment or not, but it would be nice to basically at the end of our first day of logging get ourselves back to a even keel of prices, if you will. And we'll have to see what the ground temperature does tomorrow. We do have, as I showed earlier, we do have several days of rain in store. But if the ground temp, or if the air temp does get in the 60s, then maybe the ground temp will still come up. I don't know. All that rain really does have me worried with respect to the ground temperature. And I do know that we basically have several days into summer. to get this stuff done. But still, you know, there's a part of me that would rather just go ahead and get it done, and get the crops in the ground, not force it and try to put them in now and hope that the temperature comes up, but basically just to have the temperature get up there so we can just go ahead and get them in the ground, knowing that it's not necessarily going to grow any faster, but that getting them in the ground would make me feel a bit better. So here's our tree saw. Here's our trees we cut down, and we're going to go ahead and load up this load. And we're going to do this out of cab. And we're going to load up the big logs first and basically work our way to the smaller logs. And this is how I do it. Grab these big old forks. And these things can handle multiple logs at a time without any issue whatsoever. So we come down, kind of stab them like this, and we'll try to close up around them. Alright. Oh, we lost one, but it's okay. 2 logs is still better than 1. In there, and just repeat the process until we get this thing loaded up. So we'll just go ahead and get this loaded up, and instead of narrating everything that I'm doing, I'm just going to put some nice little music on and do this in a little speed logging, if you will. We're gonna cheat on this one. We're going to use the straps. In fact, you may see me use the straps quite a bit when I load these logs, because I just find it so much easier to just use the straps. Alrighty, so it didn't take the full 6 logs. We've got a load here. Well, let's get on in here. Alright, there we got our logs loaded up. We got our straps on. Let's head on into the docks. See how well this trailer holds this big old load, and basically let's see how much money we get for this. And hear the load of the logs. Definitely helping push the tractor down the hill. Let's see, which way do we think would be the fastest way? I guess the fastest way would be swing around this way and go on around by the shop and down. So let me know in the comments what you all think of, again, what you think of the logging style that I'm doing here. How do you all do it? Do you have any favorite logging mods that you use that I didn't use? Now, you won't be able to put links in the comments. YouTube will basically block those. Your comment won't show up. I'll have to go in and approve it, and depending on the link, I might just might not approve it, simply to if I'm not sure where the link will go. Just tell me the maybe the name of the mod and the domain name of the website. So, for example, if you found the mod over at modhoster.com, just tell me the name of the mod and say it was a mod hoster, and I'll figure it out. And if it's I might give it a try, and if it's a cool enough mod, I might show it off here on the series, or show it off on another series. So let me know what your logging style is, how you do your own logging. If you don't do logging, let me know how you basically how you kill time on a map when you're playing seasons and you're basically waiting for something to happen, like ground temperature to come up. So while we are waiting here, I'll go ahead and give you my standard tagline about the PCSG and the Three Dudes Gaming Network, two of the really awesome web communities out there for farm sim enthusiasts, as well as basically sim enthusiasts for that matter. Over at PCSG, there's forums for train sim, there's forum topics for flight sim, farm sim, pretty much American Truck Sim, Euro Truck Sim, they're all there. So regardless of what your interest may be, go ahead and check out PCSG. That website is also one of the very few authorized places to find Stevie's mods and maps. They are there over at PCSG. There's also several other really great mods hosted over there to have you go over and check out. Also, I'd like you to check out the guys in my description. They are all YouTube content creators. They all create unique content that is rather different sometimes than my own content, and might be something that you all find interesting. So I encourage you to go ahead and take a look and check them out too. Alright, so as we're coming up, we might as well go into third person and pull on in here. Let's see here, which side? Alright, so the left side is the side that that unloads. Let's swing on around here. Whoa, okay. Well, I guess we won't have to worry about that then. I was expecting we'd have to unload. Let me go ahead and show you this. How that works. And then we would do that and close it back up. So again, I'm going to show you, hit I, and the rails, the front, or the left side things go down. The whole bed tips up. And then you do it again, tips back, and rotates back around. But like I said, I was not expecting them to sell that quick off the trailer, but okay. We'll take that. Let's go ahead and see what kind of money we made off of that load. So we made almost $20,000, and we spent Yesterday and today we spent 25,000. So we're almost paid back to what we spent the other day. So we're going to go ahead and take this on back to the logging area. We're going to go ahead and load up the logs that we've already cut, and probably cut a couple more trees and load them up, and see if we can't get another load down here today. But we'll be doing all of that off camera. Tomorrow it's supposed to rain, and we probably won't be doing an episode for day 21. We'll probably do day 21 off camera. And in fact, we may go ahead and off camera day 21, 22, 23, and 24. Simply if our ground temps don't come up to 50 degrees, all we're going to be doing is logging. So I'm not going to put you all through another logging episode unless you all tell me that, oh yeah, we love your logging stuff, let's see more of it, which I highly doubt you'll actually say, so we won't really expect that. So if we don't get up to 50 degrees before September 1st, or not September 1st, sorry, before the first day of summer, then we will come back the first day of summer, and that'll be the next episode. So until next time, guys, happy farming.